How to get pre-qualified in 3 simple steps before you start house shopping. Here's the thing, if you're thinking about buying a home, the worst thing that you could ever do is to fall in love with a house, or your wife fall in love with a house before you know if you can actually afford it or buy it. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 simple step process to get pre-qualified the right way so you can shop with confidence instead of guessing. Problem is, many like you are out there scrolling through listings, maybe driving through neighborhoods. You have your eye on one specific neighborhood that you know you want to buy if anything ever came available. On the weekends, you go to open houses, and often you wonder, can I actually buy something in this neighborhood right now? Could I afford it? You've often heard that you need to get pre-approved or pre-qualified, but every lender's website looks the same or they look different. You're not sure if who you can trust or what information's really needed. Often, sometimes people make the mistake to go to a big box online bank because of convenience at midnight. And when you're dealing with someone there, they're essentially in a call center. And yes, they're licensed, but they're not truly licensed to give you the advice to keep you from making the mistakes that you may have done in the past, right? You might be worried about your credit, your income, past mistakes. You definitely don't want to get embarrassed by finding out too late that you can't qualify for that home that you've mentally already moved into. So you don't want to be also dealing with a pushy loan officer or a pushy realtor at an open house prior to knowing what your position actually is. So my name's Kevin Retcher. I'm a Marine veteran. I've been in business for 30 years. I'm the owner of First Meridian Mortgage. I'm a mortgage broker licensed in Virginia, Maryland, D.C. I'm also the owner of KSA Insurance Agency, licensed in those 3 states also, and a licensed realtor with Jobin Realty in Northern Virginia. So for years, I've helped buyers, especially veterans and first-time home buyers, go from, I have no idea where to start, Kevin, to I know my numbers, I know my payments, I'm ready to write offers. Kevin, can you recommend a realtor to me? I've seen what happens when people skip these pre-qualification steps, or if they do it halfway, what happens. That is why I created 3 simple, basic steps to getting pre-qualified. One of the simple steps that I use is, and first and foremost, is to understand your story and your goals. Second, I need, of course, the financial information and the basic information that allows me to actually get you pre-qualified. And then third, we review numbers and we actually get into those numbers to the point where you understand what your payment will look like and what's going to happen next. So how did I come about this 3-step process? Years ago, I worked with a young family that had lost out on 3 to 4 homes that they were shopping for. They thought that they were ready. They were browsing online. They would go to open houses, try to put in an offer, and by the time they spoke with the realtor, submitted offers to get pre-approved, they found out that they financially couldn't afford that house. One of the homes, they needed a little bit more time to save up more down payment. And one of the other homes, they had pulled a credit, and their credit score had been dinged a little bit lower, and it affected their payment, and they weren't comfortable there. So they felt frustrated that they had a number of different things occur to them, and were quite honestly embarrassed that they weren't able to have already bought a home. When they came to me, we slowed everything down and essentially formulated a process which became my 3-step process in that pre-qualification process. And this is what worked for them. We talked about their goals, gathered their income and their assets and credit information, and then I walked them through the numbers and what those numbers actually looked like, the payments, the cash to close, and a realistic purchase price. That experience turned into a great experience for them. They got pre-approved. I helped when they submitted their offer. I called on their behalf. We made that phone call. Me and the buyer's agent worked together to transform what was a bad experience in their home buying situation into elation that they actually went under contract and got the keys on the very first attempt after they took the time and slowed down that pre-qualification process. So, step one, share your story and your goals with your loan officer. Be forthright in what you're comfortable with. Here's the thing is you want to do that over the phone, Zoom, in person. You can tell me or your loan officer what you're trying to accomplish. If you're a first-time home buyer, or you're a move-up buyer, if you're trying to do a VA, FHA, a conventional condo, new build, we talk about monthly payments and comfort levels and comfort zones, what your ideal down payment would be, what your timeline is, and anything unique about your situation, whether you're self-employed, recent job changes, VA eligibility. There's no commitment at this point in the process. The goal is to simply for me to understand your story so I can give you realistic guidance instead of generic answers. Step two of that process is to upload your basic financial information. I'll ask you for some basic documents like 30 days pay stubs, 2 years W-2s, 2 years tax returns potentially, 60 days worth of bank statements where the down payment's coming from, and permission to review your credit. I'm going to ask you if there's any gifts involved. If there's a gift donor, we need to get a gift letter and a statement from them and proof they've given you the funds as part of the process. But you'll be able to send all of this securely online so you're not printing or faxing like it's 1996 when I opened my company. From there, I'm going to analyze your income, your debts. We're going to do that telephone or online application, and we're going to pull your credit to determine what kind of loan programs you might fit into and what a realistic purchase price is going to look like. We're going to actually pull off a listing, because I have access to the software, of a house in that price range. And then step three, we're going to go over those numbers and we're going to review those numbers together. Once I've run those numbers, we're going to sit down and we're going to understand the game plan together, and I'll show you what is in that price range that you're comfortable with. I'm going to show you where you're able to stretch, and if you're really super smart, you've done a budget, and you might find that maybe there's some other room to maybe increase your purchasing power also. Maybe we analyze if you pay off this car, you actually have more buying power or something of that nature. So we get that game plan together. With that estimated price that fits your comfort zone, sample payments at different price levels, down payments, estimated cash to close, and then we implement also any action items that I may suggest as far as maybe paying this off or doing this. By the end of that third step, you'll know exactly where you stand. You'll have a written pre-qualification or a full pre-approval if we go that route. You can share that with your realtor. If you don't have a realtor, I have over 500 realtors that are in my database that I've done a transaction with. You might be looking in a specific area, and I may have the perfect agent for you. And then at that point, armed with your realtor and your pre-approval or pre-qualification, you're going to be ready to make offers. If you follow this three-step plan, you'll start shopping with a clear budget, realistic expectations, and confidence that when you find the right home, you can move quickly and credibly. The other thing is I can help you in that process in many different ways. This 3-step process is just the start of what I actually do for you. You'll avoid surprises, last minute surprises. You're going to protect yourself from falling in love with homes that are outside your range, and you'll make sound decisions with real numbers instead of wishful thinking. If you skip these steps, you're going to risk wasting time, writing offers that get ignored, or discovering late in the game that the payment you thought you were going to have is nowhere near what you're actually going to have, right? And you don't want that surprise because that's not good for the family budget. When people feel blindsided or surprised, the transaction just doesn't have the same flavor that a new home buyer should have when they get their keys. So here's the thing, if you're even thinking about buying in the next 3 to 12 months, now is the time to start that process. Reach out to me. We'll walk you through step 1, simple conversation about your goals, situation, no pressure, no obligation. If this video helps, and please like, share, or subscribe. 70% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribers, maybe 80%. These home buying tips, I often have someone that will tell me, hey, I saw your videos and that's why I gave you a call. Share it with friends or a fellow veteran. I'm a veteran who's talking about buying a home. It does not have to feel like you're under pressure. When you're ready, I'll guide you through each step so you can stop guessing and start shopping with confidence. My name is Kevin Retcher. I'm the proud owner of First Meridian Mortgage, KSA Insurance Agency, and a licensed realtor with Jobin Realty. I have never missed a closing date in my 30-year career. I think that is astounding and fantastic. I'll put that record up against a lot of people, and I've been ranked in the top 200 in the nation multiple times for volume, and top 10 as a veteran loan officer in the nation. Talk to you soon. To all the Marines out there, Semper Fi.